Hi everybody, Rainbow Strike here, and alright, let's cut to the chase. It's now time for the annual ranking of every single movie I've seen in 2024. We're gonna speedrun it this year because there is a lot, and I mean a lot of movies to cover this year, and I have a lot of things to say about each of them. And also like last year, I'm gonna review a little bit of the TV shows that I saw this year. We're also mostly gonna be focusing on the animated films this year. Yes, I will talk about the live action films, but only if they were like huge live action movies, like one of the biggest of the year. Like I'm gonna talk about Wicked, and I'm gonna talk about Dune Part 2, but I'm not gonna talk about something like Wicked Little Letters, even though that movie was really good and I highly recommend it. Anyway, that's enough chatter. Let's get into the ranking. You guys are gonna hate me for this, and I am so sorry. And let me be clear, I don't think the movie is bad. Like, objectively and critically, this movie is not bad, but out of all the movies that I've seen this year, this is the one that I enjoyed the very, very least. I am so sorry. But in my opinion, my least favorite movie of 2024 is Dune Part 2. Let me state again, I don't think the movie is bad. Objectively and critically, this movie is fantastic. It's just, I just found this movie to be just really boring, and it was like the worst time I had in the theater this year. To me, the movie was just very sluggish and really boring, but again, it's not bad. I don't think it's critically bad. Like, the acting was fantastic, the cinematography and directing was great. It's just, I didn't really care for the story. If you like this movie, that's fantastic. In fact, I envy you because I really wanted to like this movie, but I unfortunately couldn't. Definitely not bad at all, but it was my least favorite experience in the theaters this year, so I have to put it at the bottom of this list, and I am so sorry. Okay, time for an actual bad movie. Next up is Noah's Ark, the musical. What the hell? Why can't we ever get a good Noah's Ark movie? Like, the closest we've ever gotten to that was that segment in Fantasia 2000. But like, I really want a good adaptation of the story. Why is it so hard to make it good? But anyway, back to the movie. The animation is a bit weird. I know it's supposed to be a style, but it's not really a style that I liked. I didn't really love how it was animated. The story, characters, and music numbers were just so bland and not that great. I really don't have that much to say about it. It was just forgettable and bland. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but definitely far from being good. Next is Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp. Oh my goodness. Why is this movie so boring? You're making a movie about Woody Woodpecker. The last thing you want to be is boring. It was just boring and cringe. I will give it this. It does have some good moments and good animation sometimes, but it overall didn't really save it. Extremely mid is all I can really say about it. Next up is Tiger's Apprentice, and my goodness, I was actually pretty excited for this movie until I saw it. False advertisement, oh my goodness. I say that because most of the marketing is of the Zodiacs and their powers and abilities, and they look so cool, and it would be like an awesome thing to see, but we barely get any of that. They're like really focused on like 3 of them and this annoying kid. Like, come on. I probably wouldn't mind if the 3 Zodiacs that we focused on and the kid weren't that bad, but they were just pretty annoying and boring most of the time. Like, bro, get these guys out of here. Give me the rest of the Zodiac team. They look and sound and act way cooler. Overall, great potential for a movie, but was just wasted. Next is Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. What the frick is that title? It's just as bad as the movie. Forgettable, annoying, and bland. It also just looks horrible. Like, look at this shit. Someone greenlight this. What the hell? The only scenes I really enjoyed was about the pug. That was it. That was the only thing I liked. At least it was fun seeing how insane and stupid this movie was. But like, good gosh, man. Mid as hell, but at least it was entertaining to watch. Holy crap, needed more Gary though. Next is Madame Web, and holy crap, I've never seen a movie so fundamentally broken. It has the worst editing, the worst acting, and the worst ADR I've ever heard in my life, but at least it was entertaining as hell to watch. This movie was so ironically hilarious. Like, oh my gosh, it might be bad, but it was at least super fun to watch. It was so funny. One of the funniest movies I've seen this year, but I don't think that was intentional. But yeah, it still was garbage. Next is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Man, did I want this to be good. And it really fumbled it. It overall could have been great if the characters weren't written so badly. They're completely idiotic. This character is supposed to be one of the smart ones, and why is she written so stupidly? You caused this. Look at everything. This is your fault. Overall, could have been great, but the characters were so badly written. Next is Joker Folie à Deux. What the fuck did I just watch? First movie, I'm the Joker, baby. Second movie, no, I'm not the Joker. Now I'm gonna get killed. Who the fuck wrote this? What ultimately makes this movie fail is that it just ruins the ending of the first film. Like, the first film had a perfect ending. And I was open to a sequel, but not like this. This was horrible. At least it looked good. Doesn't really matter because the story was crap. Finally, we're out of the bad movies territory now. Let's get to the good. Next is Godzilla X Kong. It's a pretty good movie, just don't think about it logically, because once you do that, it falls apart very quickly. But overall, it still was pretty entertaining.
Not bad, not bad.
Next up is Thelma the Unicorn, and I was actually really excited for this movie. The reason why is because this movie was based on a book written by Aaron Blabey, who also wrote the Bad Guys books, and you guys know how much I love that book series and movie. So I was hoping for a level of quality like the Bad Guys had for Thelma, but it really wasn't there. But honestly, this movie does have a lot of good and emotional scenes, but also half of the time it has a lot of weird and awkward humor mixed into it. Overall, this was a mixed bag of a movie, and I do still like it, but I just wish it could have been a little bit better. Next up is the Bad Guys Halloween special, and it was pretty cute. But it's not really that good. Like, it still has that really awkward and bad animation and not great voice acting, but it overall still was a fun experience if you want a little bit more bad guys in your life. I mean, hey, at least it wasn't as bad as whatever the hell this was in its trailer for its sequel.
God damn! God damn! Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Nice. Made me happy, made me smile. Nice.
That was a bit rich, but okay.
Next up is Hit Pig, which was actually pretty good. If you only focused on the pig and the elephant, of course. Like, seriously, this movie would be really good if it only just focused on the pig and the elephant, because everything else just ranges up from being mid to just annoying. Like, I seriously did not like the villain at all. And some of the side characters are pretty good. Like, I like the koala and polecat, but everyone else I just did not care for at all. But yeah, focusing on only the good stuff, the friendship between Pickles the elephant and Hit Pig was honestly so wholesome and sweet, and I just wish that the whole movie was just about them, because their scenes were really good and really emotional. But overall, the rest of the stuff was just okay to just being plain annoying.
Damn, boy, he's thick, boy!
Next is Harold and the Purple Crayon, and honestly, the only thing this movie has going for is just the creativity and some of the good scenes and moments, but other than that, pretty forgettable.
I like this one.
Next is If, which was honestly pretty good, but a little bit underwhelming. Like, there was some great and emotional scenes, but I don't know, I guess I was just expecting a little bit more from this movie. But at least the imaginary friends looked really great, my favorite being that, like, weird Superman dog fox thing voiced by Sam Rockwell. I don't know, he just looks really cute, I just want to hug him. Overall, pretty good, but I wish it could have been a lot better.
Space!
Next was that Sing Thriller special, and it was pretty good, but why the frick did they put Portia behind Mina? Portia is so obviously smaller than Mina. Put her somewhere in the front. Why is she behind a freaking elephant? Oh my god.
You can barely freaking see her!
Next is Venom: The Last Dance, which was pretty good. Not as good as the first movie, but definitely better than the second one in my opinion. The last third of this movie is honestly really entertaining. It is a bit stupid if you think about it, but still really entertaining regardless. A decent ending to a decent trilogy. Next is Spellbound, which actually surprised me. Honestly, I was just expecting for this movie to be dumb, and it does have some dumb moments in it, but it overall was still pretty good. It does have some annoying characters and some really bland musical numbers, but I honestly really like the animation and its story. And it's definitely not as bad as Luck, thankfully.
Really good.
Oh, let's go! That's class!
Next is Beetlejuice, which was really entertaining. Despite this movie having a lot of plot points, side stories, and just being all over the place, it honestly was still really fun to watch it all. Definitely not amazing critically, but still really fun to watch. Next up is the Garfield movie, which was not bad at all, but could have been way better. The main problem with this movie is that it doesn't feel like a Garfield movie. The story doesn't feel like a Garfield movie, the characters don't feel like Garfield characters, especially the voice acting doesn't feel like Garfield. The only thing that feels like Garfield and was genuinely really good is the animation. Like, the movie was still fine and good, it just doesn't feel like Garfield at all, and I feel like that has to be a problem considering, you know, the movie is called the Garfield movie and the main character is Garfield, but it still was a pretty enjoyable animated movie.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
Next up is Robot Dreams, and I overall would love this movie, except, oh my gosh, that ending. I'm not gonna give away too much, it's just that this movie had such a strong opening and strong, like, first act, that everything else just feels so depressing and sad. I get that was the point, but it still wasn't that fun to watch. It was just so depressing. And that ending really pissed me off. If you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. That window scene. Come on, man. Overall, still a great and fantastic movie, but it was so depressing to watch.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Next is Spy X Family Code White, and it probably was one of the most insane things I've seen this year. So let me explain. I didn't go out to see this movie on purpose. There's these things that I go to called Monday Mystery Movies, and they just play a random movie that no one knows what it's gonna be. All they know is that it's gonna be a new movie, and it happened to be this one. So what did I think of this movie despite me not seeing a single frame of this anime? Well, it was actually quite good and entertaining. It's an anime, so of course the animation is going to be gorgeous, and it was. And also the characters and story were really fun and entertaining, and also just downright insane, but that's a good thing. While there were some annoying scenes that got on my nerves just a little bit, I still overall really enjoyed this movie.